Just say the word and I'll be yours. You know I never forgot we used to be giants. Hello, and today we are doing predictions for matchday number 18 of the 2020 to 21 Premier League season. That's right, there are a total of 6 games to predict this week and some rearranged games because you've got Burnley against Manchester United, which was due to play in game week 1. You've also got Fulham away from home at Tottenham. That was due to be played a few weeks ago, but it got postponed, so it's getting played this week. So these are the fixtures I'll be predicting, and then I'll get into what the Predictions League is looking like. Get your predictions down in the comment section below, and make sure you smash that subscribe button, like the video, and share to your friends. So we are going to start off with what are the fixtures I'm predicting today. Well, we've got Sheffield United versus Newcastle, Wolverhampton Wanderers taking on Everton, Burnley against Manchester United, Manchester City against Brighton, Tottenham against Fulham, and Arsenal against Crystal Palace. And let's get into how I did last week firstly. So last week I scored myself a very solid 24 points. We don't mind it. We got a correct score in the Newcastle loss to Leicester. We got correct results in the Sheffield United defeat, in the win for Tottenham over Leeds. We were 1 goal off that, so that's unlucky. And we also got some correct goal differences in the Brighton draw and also in the Manchester United 1 goal advantage win over Aston Villa. So yeah, it was a good week, but I'm currently on a total score of 356. Let's get into these predictions. And in terms of the Predictions League, how does this last week shape up with those Predictions Leagues? Well, it is very simple. In 4th position, with a score of 8 points after predicting on just one of the weeks this season, it's Jack. 8 points for you, son. Hopefully, if you can predict this week, you can climb up the ranks. But in 3rd is Nathan Heaver with 9 points. In 2nd, drum roll please, it is Douglas. You are on 303 points. And that means that I am still top with 356. Pretty solid stuff. And, you know, fair play, Douglas. You've closed the gap. But still, it was a pretty good week for you last week. 17 from you. But not quite as good as me, unfortunately, for you. But yeah, no one else other than that commented on last week's prediction. So comment down below what you're going to say for this game week. But it is, of course, the blank game week. Just 6 matches to get our teeth into, really. So let's get cracking. And to start off with, we are going to look at the game between Sheffield United and Newcastle. Of course, you heard the song of the week. That was Giants by Dermot Kennedy. And the song is that. The theme of the week, though, is going to be Harry Potter. Dun, 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 dun. And the colour of the week is brown. So let's get cracking. And don't forget, if you didn't already watch it, there's that Switch video of Ronaldo and some footballer. Well, not a footballer, but he likes football and he becomes a footballer. It's really, really good, called Lee. And basically, go watch it. I'll put the YouTube link on the thumbnail. So if you can zoom in on that and go give it a watch. It's very funny. So let's get into these predictions. First of all, we have Sheffield United taking on Newcastle United. It's a clash of the Uniteds, and it's a big game, really, but a game that is actually quite tough to call because Sheffield United defensively have been woeful. Newcastle have been all right defensively, but both these teams have actually really struggled going forward, so it could either be a 0-0 or it could be a really high-scoring 2-2. I really don't know how this is going to swing, but I'm slightly leaning towards Newcastle here because they are, on their day, quite a good team, and you know, I think Callum Wilson's going to have another good day at the office here, so I'm going to say Sheffield United 0, Newcastle United 2. And goal scorers, first of all, Callum Wilson to get a goal on 32 minutes, and then Newcastle grab the second to clinch it from Miguel Almiron, and that comes on 83. Now we've got a game that is between, of course, Wolverhampton Wanderers and Everton. Now, it's a tough game to call as well, this one, because both Wolves and Everton have been pretty up and down this season. Wolves defensively have been a bit decent. Like, they've not been amazing, but they've also not been terrible. And they've beaten the likes of Arsenal and got points off Chelsea and Tottenham this season, but also they got battered by Liverpool, and they've just not really scored many goals at the other end of the pitch. They've really missed Raul Jimenez since his injury, and obviously Fabio Silva's still looking for his first goal from open play after getting the penalty against Burnley. But this is an interesting game because Everton come into this with a lot of their players that really did well for them at the start of the season back from injury. The likes of James Rodriguez and Lucas Digne, which you'd say would only help Dominic Calvert-Lewin in this game. So I don't think he's going to score, though. I do think this is going to be a tight one, and I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw at Molineux. So Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, Everton 1, with the first goal coming from Pedro Neto on 50 minutes. And then the equaliser for Everton, I believe, will be scored by Mason Holgate on 84 minutes, very late on. And now we've got a game between Burnley and Manchester United. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff, and it's on Sky Sports Football, I do believe. Now, this is a tough game for Manchester United, only in the respect that Burnley will play out very defensive line, and it'll be hard to break them down, but you'd still fancy the Red Devils. They've been in very good form, joint top of the Premier League, along with Liverpool, but just below them on goal difference. And they are, of course, out of the Carabao Cup, but they are through in the FA Cup, so they've got that to look forward to if they can get further. But I think Burnley are a team that will definitely go here to try and set up defensively, whether they can get some aerial duels won in this game and maybe nick a response and nick a surprise win, because they don't often beat Manchester United, but the last meeting at Old Trafford saw goals from Chris Wood and an absolute screamer off the crossbar from Jay Rodriguez. But I don't think Rodriguez will be fit to play this one, and I don't think Burnley will have the credentials to get something in this game. So I'm going to go for Burnley 1, Manchester United 3. And goal scorers in this one, I think Anthony Martial has got quite a good record against the Clarets, so he'll open the scoring on 21 minutes. And then there will be a second for Manchester United, and it's a very regular occurrence, a Bruno Fernandes penalty, and I think he'll send Nick Pope the wrong way after a challenge by Ben Mee on Martial, and on 35 minutes, Man United get their second. Then it goes into half-time, you're thinking, alright, it's an easy Man United win, but not to be, because Burnley get an early goal in the second half on 56 minutes from James Tarkowski sliding in. But then Manchester United grab the win and get their 2-goal advantage back with a late goal on 93 minutes from Marcus Rashford, a man that's done so much on and off the pitch in the last 4 months. Let's move on to the game that is between, of course, Manchester City and Brighton. And I don't think there's much hope here for Brighton. They've had a pretty tough season, and obviously they just about got away with it in the FA Cup against Newport County on penalties. Absolute drama with Adam Webster scoring at the right end with his penalty, but obviously before that conceding a very unfortunate own goal. But Manchester City have been a team this season that still have a massive chance of getting in the title race. They have a squad of star-studded players, and they really do turn it on when they want to. They just haven't done that much this season. But I think they need to be winning these kind of games if they want to show themselves to still have title credentials, and maybe just put a few past Graham Potter's men here. But I think Graham Potter is a manager that I still rate. Brighton have not scored enough goals and they've not got enough results. But could he work some magic? Pardon the pun for Harry Potter terms. I don't think so. I think Manchester City will win this one 3-0 to the Citizens, with goals from João Cancelo and then a header from the centre-back known as Ruben Diaz, who's been putting in some solid performances recently. And the third goal for the home side comes from Kevin De Bruyne. Now we've got a game, of course, between Tottenham and Fulham. And this is a tough game to predict just because Fulham didn't see this game coming. It got rearranged, and Tottenham will go into this thinking, really got to be looking at a win. Obviously, they absolutely breezed past Leeds in their last home game. And, of course, in the FA Cup, they got a very good 5-0 win over Marine, who, were always going to be a team that you'd probably expect them to beat. But they had to still go there with the right attitude and on that pitch just basically let their talent do the talking. And fair play, Vinicius getting a hat-trick, but, you know, it was a couple of them were from 2 yards out, and the other one, yeah, fair play, it's a decent effort, but yeah, that it's still it's a bit of a formality, that win. So I don't think Spurs will let that play too much into their minds with this game, because obviously they had rested a few players there, and Kane and Son fully rested into this, so they will be licking their lips. But I've just got a feeling that Spurs will get the win. So I'm going to say Tottenham 3, Fulham 1. And goal scorers in the game, I think actually Fulham will score the first goal. I know, what a shocker. But I think a man that's been doing really, really well recently, and Scott Parker said it himself, that it's not ideal this game's being rearranged, because he'd put out a team for that game against QPR in the Cup, and now he's got to basically put out the same team so that it's not a weak one. But I think Bobby Reid has been such a good player, and he's seeming to play a lot for Fulham recently, so I don't think he'll get taken out, and I think he'll score at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But then goals from Tottenham will come after that goal in the 24th minute from Bobby Reid. And by the way, the goals from De Bruyne scoring on 90 minutes, just like literally as it goes into injury time. And then Cancelo getting the early goal on 15 minutes, and Diaz getting it in 44 minutes just before half time. But anyway, back to this game. Yeah, I do think that this will be a goal from Bobby Reid on, say, actually, let's go with 25 minutes. And then the goal for Tottenham, let's say, first of all, Heung-min Son on 60 minutes. I think it might take a while for Spurs to recover, but they eventually will. And then second goal for Tottenham comes from the fullback Ben Davies. And we'll go for the goal coming on 78 minutes. And then Spurs clinch it with a third from Tanguy Ndombele on 88 minutes. And finally, we have Arsenal taking on Crystal Palace. And it's a game you'd fancy Arsenal, I think. But Palace have been a team up and down. Defensively, they've been struggling of recent games. And they did concede 7 past Liverpool. So you never know with Palace. But I think they're going to be struggling here, because Arsenal are in form. They got the confidence. And, you know, I think Aubameyang will be very relieved about that goal in the FA Cup. That's just given him a little bit back of what he can do. And I think he'll have a good game here. So Arsenal 4, Crystal Palace 0, with 2 from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And I reckon both of them will be assisted by the wonder kid, Bukayo Saka. And then Saka gets the third for himself. And finally, they end it on a Tierney goal. And I think Aubameyang's goals will come on 15 minutes and then 37 minutes. And Saka scores on 54. And then Tierney scores in the 89th minute to end the game on a sweet note for the Gunners. Those are my predictions in terms of the scorers, the score time, and also the scoreline of match week 18 of the Premier League. And of course, that game that was due to take place, Aston Villa against Tottenham, will be rearranged to a later date. But I can always predict it when the game comes around, when it's sorted into a certain match day. But what does that mean for Fulham's upcoming games? Well, apparently the fact that they've put that game on the Wednesday now means that Fulham will now play on Saturday. So their game that was due to be played with Chelsea on the Friday is moved to Saturday. So that's still part of that week. But yeah, that is my predictions, and get yours down below. Simple as that, really. Hopefully it'll be an interesting midweek round of games, and let's just see which way it swings. But thanks for watching these predictions, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye-bye.